And that middle ground is what I, not to overflog this issue, but I'd like you to speak a bit more on that middle ground, the middle ground, what you mean when you say middle ground, because I know, for instance, that, and not too long ago, as a matter of fact, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, that's Festus Keyamo, was quoted as saying that the federal government has no legal powers to regulate or fix airfares in the country. He did insist at the time, that was when he was speaking to journalists shortly after leaving the Federal Executive Council meeting not too long ago. He did say that the aviation sector, or reiterate, I should say, that the aviation sector has been fully deregulated for decades. Do you think that is enough to say, for instance, while, yes, granted, the government cannot dictate prices in a free market, but it can address, or can it not address, some of the underlying factors driving airfares? You did insinuate or made allusions to some of them. The volatility of dollar, for instance, that you mentioned.
Yes.
Is there possibly a single impactful policy, or should I say an amalgam of policies that the government can implement in the next couple of months to create, a lasting structural reduction in airfares for Nigerians?
Okay, let's look at it from this perspective. First, the economics of it, demand and supply come into play, especially towards the end of the year. We know a lot of people want to travel for holidays and all that. And airlines have a fixed number of aircraft they can deploy on these routes. So the principle of demand and supply come into play. There's no industry where you don't find prices appreciating when the demand is high. There's none in this country. So we cannot single aviation services and say, oh, bring down your prices when there are so many people. I was at the airport before I came to Abuja. You can't believe the crowd at the airports. The crowd at the airports was something else. And there are only X number of aircraft available. And if, as an operator, I'm going to deploy my aircraft, I want to make the most for it, out of it. Okay, so that's pure business. Then let's not also forget that air travel or air transport is only one mode of transportation within the general transportation network. So what government can do in the immediate, in my opinion, is that government needs to look into the other modes of transportation so that the pressure on air travel is reduced. Now, we're not talking about roads anymore. Roads are in very bad shape in terms of the infrastructure, then in terms of security. And then we're talking about inland waterways. We're not tapping that at all as a country. Very seldom do you find a person moving from one state to the other commercially via the waterways. And we do have a number of rivers that run through several states. We're not talking about that. Okay, what about the rail system? Look at the state of the tracks. Trains getting stuck in the middle of nowhere, derailing and being attacked by terrorists and all that. So air travel is only one option.
True.
And if the other options are not available, people will converge on this one option, and that's going to push up the costs. So if I need to travel to Ibadan, why should I fly to Ibadan from Lagos? I live in Lagos. It's a 1 hour drive. But try making that drive right now and get into some crazy traffic around the RCCG camp and all that stuff. It doesn't make sense. Okay. So government needs to work on enhancing the efficiency of the other transport options that Nigerians should have. And that then the principles of competition come in. Airlines on their own, if passengers and travelers are choosing other options, they will do the needful and bring down their prices to attract passengers.